Hello everyone, it's Ahmed speaking, and in this video I'm gonna make a tutorial about how to make a useful media query mixins with SASS. So here I have a very basic HTML structure. I have a parent div and a child h1, and here I have some SASS codes, and here is the compiled version of SASS, the CSS code, and here is my page that we will test it out later. Here I have a predefined variable called breakpoints. It includes a map. Of course, a map accepts a key and a value. And yeah, that's it. Those keys represent the different screen sizes. And those values represent the breakpoints used by Bootstrap the 5th edition. And yeah, let's see what we will do with that. I will define a mixin. Let's call it a breakpoint. It will accept a parameter. Let's call that parameter user value, since that is the value that you will enter when you call that mixin using include. Let's define another variable to call that map. Let's call it my map. I will use inside of that variable a built-in method. I'm not sure about the terminology. I think it's called a built-in method called mapGet. So basically, mapGet accepts two parameters. It accepts a map name, in this case, the variable breakpoints that represents that map. Just paste it here. And another parameter, which is the key. As I mentioned, those represent the keys of that map. Let's test it out to be like familiar with the concept of get map. Let's use the small. Let's get it out of here for a moment and comment the mixin. So in this variable, the expected value of my map for that block of code, map get breakpoints small, since that is the map name and that is the map key, the output of that variable should be that value. Let's test it out using the debug. Let's write the name of the variable my map, hit save. Let's see what we have here. So yeah, as I expected, the value of the breakpoint is small, minimum width of 576 pixels and a maximum width of 767 pixels. So after being familiar with the concept of the map get, let's get back to our mixin. So since I don't want that block of code to be manually written, I want that to be a dynamic block of code. I want to use the user value here instead of saying small x small or something. And here I will add an if condition. If that happened, do the following. So my condition here is my map. It basically says if my map has a value which matches the user value, do the following. Like I want to add a media query with a screen size of let's say the let's have an interpolation here. That is not interpolation. Let's use the variable my map, and inside of it we need some content. You can write whatever you want, and if that didn't apply, do the following. So else, give me an error that says, for example, let's write anything like oops, seems like the breakpoint Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, user value isn't defined yet. Let's hit save and this should work. Just test it out. Let's say that I need my body. If we go semicolon right here. Say that I need my body to have a back, like let's call the mixin include a breakpoint, let's say in the X small size, to have a background color of red. Hit save, and yeah, it worked. We have a media query with a maximum width of 575 with a body background of red. Let's test it out here. Refresh. And yeah, it's working. Let's try other breakpoints. Like for example, the small, the medium, the large. And I want to add blue, green, something like orchid. Hit save. And yeah, it was compiled as expected. Let's test it out. Yeah, here red, blue, green, orchid, and back to the original defined color. And yeah, that's it. A useful media query mix that I personally use in my projects.